Oh dear. You're most welcome today.
Madam Speaker, and the
Honorable members, order.
And the honorable member must be a lucky one to be welcomed by the Speaker in the House this
He's
afternoon.
coming to the House for the first time, that's why.
Madam Speaker, on the issue of counterfeit goods on the market, we will also, as the committee looks at the issues raised by Honorable Mwijuche, issues that he has raised, but also to inform the House that the ministry is in advanced stages in bringing...
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. May I know, Honorable Minister, whether in the same way we shall have the opportunity to know about the counterfeit COVID vaccine that was reported about somewhere in a health center in Kabowa. From that time, we have not had anything. It was reported to be fake vaccine, vaccinated to people in a government health center. And the proof was that papers were wiping off, yet ordinarily they wouldn't. There's been total silence from government. Shall we also have the opportunity to get information about it?
We will want that from the Minister of Health. And for now, let's get this from the Minister of Tourism, Trade.
Okay, thank you. Madam Speaker, the information I wanted to give the House is that we are working our protection bill, which will be coming to the House in a few months from now. I think that will go a long way in having efforts to protect the consumers. And those that are imported into this country are products of standard that humans can consume. So along the committee's work, we'll also be coming out with a bill to strengthen the regulation.
Minister, when shall we have the bill in the House? When shall we have the bill in the House?
Clarification. We will require, Madam Speaker, 2 months. Thank you.
Yes, Jane.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, as much as I appreciate the Minister talking or initiating the process of bringing a bill, Madam Speaker, in the meantime, how do we protect the consumer? When you go to Chikubo, for example, or some shops in the suburbs of Kampala, a seller will boldly ask you, I wanted to buy a padlock. They asked me whether I wanted a genuine one or a fake one. I'm actually going to buy more than one. And I couldn't tell, for instance, a padlock, which one was. So a bill may take us about 1 month or 3 months. But in the meantime, how do we protect Ugandans? As a country, we are even losing a lot in terms of revenue because we are encouraging fake things, counterfeits.
Honorable members, I don't want you to be misled that there is a bill coming. The bill that is coming is by a private member. It is the private member who is bringing a bill on consumer protection. Government has not put an initiative in bringing this bill. Yes. Asuman?
Right Honorable Speaker, something small.
Asuman, then you.
Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister, the Honorable Minister Bahati, should be very open to this House. Because, Right Honorable Speaker, in the 10th Parliament, there were already existing laws to deal with counterfeit. We protested, but they didn't listen. And I'm surprised that now the Honorable Minister is saying there is an intended bill. It's actually not there. Our argument at that time, and I hope that it is addressed this time, our argument at that time was that you cannot deal with counterfeit in different legislations, that it was necessary to have one uniform legislation across board. You rejected the advice. So I really hope, and the member who is saying what happens to the Ugandans at this point in time is because there is a weak legal regime which you refused to implement, to address at that time, and that's why we are suffering. And that's why the Honorable Minister for Trade on our side is raising a substantive matter. So, Right Honourable Speaker, I hope that the Committee of Trade and the private member comes very quickly for us to address the gap. I'm not sure that government is determined to bring another law, because the one they brought, they withdrew it themselves.
You know,
Madam Speaker,
Honorable Minister already made a ruling that let this go to the Committee of Trade and Tourism. We want to understand how is the consumer protected products, and when do we have the law to give your information to the committee.
Madam Speaker, 2 points. The Honourable Sumani says I need to be open to everything in government, but I'm telling you what's in government. We are working on consumer protection bill. So I don't know about whether you know everything there. This doing as we prepare for the bill. There are a number of steps we are taking to protect the consumer. The first one, we have the National Bureau of Standard Action, or at importation. The second one is that when these products go into the market, some of them are fake. And we normally do enforcement and sampling of these products. But also we continue to educate the public that please do not buy anything that does not possess the sign of UNBS. And we're also moving ahead to put the Q codes that you can have a product on the shelf and use your iPhone where it is necessary to detect whether whether the sign of UNBS is correct or not correct. So those are some of the projects, but we shall inform the committee of the issues that the steps we are taking as they investigate the matter. Thank you.
Information.
Honorable Minister, all what you've said is what I expect you to take to the committee. Matchbox, you have something.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to appreciate the Minister's effort that the fake products we are talking of today, it includes UBL. UBL is our own company, and we do have fake product of Uganda Waraj, Jack Daniels. All those ones are there in Chikubo. And remember, when the enforcers or when the fake products in the market, what they normally do once they reach there, they find those customers having those products. They confiscate them without even compensating, because for them, they are just buyers. They buy from their suppliers. So we are wondering, where are they coming from? I want to feed Honorable Minister that information, that including our own Uganda Waraji has a fake product. That's the information I wanted to give. It will kill our country. Yeah.
You know, Katesh.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Order.
I think the issue of counterfeit, and indeed there is an existing law under the East African Community Customs Management Act that prohibits counterfeit of all forms. What is failing us is the implementation as usual. We have got companies which were contracted to undertake pre-shipment inspection. What we would expect the government to do is to give us a performance report. Since we started contracting these companies and changed, because what we are seeing on the market is that despite the expenditure that has been made over the years, these products continue to come, and the goods, the performance of this to get foreign companies to do this job. Why don't we equip
the Bureau of Standards, and we strengthen them to actually undertake this mandate. Since we are talking of import substitution and trying to empower Ugandans. So, Honorable Minister, I think we are falling short of implementation. We need a comprehensive performance assessment of what has happened over the last 10 years since these companies have been performing this pre-shipment inspection.
Thank you. Tourism, we need a report in 2 weeks' time to that effect, a thorough analysis of what is happening, and yes.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I have informed this House, and we have all heard from the radio that it is counterfeit vaccines. And we know how important people's lives are and its effect in this situation. Not procedure right, Madam Right Honourable Speaker, that you equally direct the Minister for Health to give us a report on the fake vaccines that were reported in circulation and what they did about them. Thank you.
Honorable Aisha, I thought I'd made a directive. I don't know whether you're still in the same house. I said the Minister of Health must handle that. And by saying that, that is a directive. Noah?
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I rise under Rule 49 to raise a matter of urgent national importance regarding the training or the phasing off of the comprehensive nurse cadre. Was introduced in the country in 1993-1994 at a time when we had a very critical shortage of human resource for health. This particular cadre is trained in multiple skills of nursing. However, there has been challenges in this cadre getting recruited with public service of this country. And there were debates to phase it out. Until this year, Minister of Education took a decision to phase off comprehensive nurse training, both in certificate and diploma. According to the Commissioner of Business, Technical and Vocational Education Training in Ministry of Education, Dr. Safina Musena, he noted that employers find the course irrelevant, and the Ministry of Education also found the course redundant, given that the business technical vocational training education is now world of work driven. And therefore, no new candidates will be recruited for this training or will be admitted for the training of comprehensive nurse effective with this particular academic year. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, unfortunately, training schools continue to admit students for the course, especially in diploma. I have the government admission with me, honourable colleagues. 160 students to do diploma in comprehensive nurse. School of Comprehensive Nurse, where 80 students have been admitted to pursue this course. And I have a copy of an admission where the admission reads in part, the course will commence on a date that will be announced after clearance from the Ministry of Education and Sports. Right Honourable Speaker, honourable colleagues, Ministry of Education seems to be against its own announcement of phasing out this course. And this may be due to the pressure from the training schools. Yet we know these Ugandans who train in this particular course will not be able to get employment. And soon public service will go ahead and structure it completely and they will not be employed. So I just wanted Right Honourable Speaker, I would like to lay this on the table.
What are you laying on the table?
The admissions. Yeah.
What are you laying?
Let me just want to lay.
No. What are you laying? We don't just receive papers like that.
Okay. Thank you. So my prayers. One is the Minister of Education need to clarify why they should go ahead training or that it is phased off, because the cadre is now irrelevant. Secondly, Minister of Education need to direct these training institutions to give these students alternative courses that matches their scores in A level and courses that are relevant to the work, our world of work. Thirdly, Minister of Education need to develop an abridged course for all those who trained in comprehensive nurse. Because now these nurses will have to go back to school to train again because they're not going to fit in nursing or midwifery. And soon now this cadre is going to be. Therefore, it is important to design an abridged course for them to specialize either in nursing or in midwifery. Thank you. I beg to submit.
Thank you. What was that you're laying on table?
Yes, from Minister of Education
Is
website.
it signed and stamped from, you know, we don't go on a fishing expedition, fishing for documents. So if it is not authenticated, then we will require that information from the minister.
Oh, thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Minister of Education, the issue is, why are you facing out these courses? What is the mischief that you're trying to clear?
Much, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues. Indeed, it is true the human capital development for health is handled by the Ministry of Education and Sports. The training for all categories of health workers. This particular course, the comprehensive nursing that my colleague talked about, indeed this training started some years back.
What does a comprehensive nurse do? Because for us, we are not
the nursing and the midwifery part, but not in a comprehensive manner, in a way that the course for nursing takes 2.5 years, and the course for midwifery certificate level in a nursing and midwifery school. But the comprehensive handles the two within the same period. And eventually it was found out that this does not provide the right competence, the skills.
Information does not only have.
She's a nurse, by the way. She's a nurse. You hear from her.
The comprehensive does not only address midwifery and nursing, it puts community health as well, and the pediatrics, and the psychiatry. And all these courses, if they are addressed one by one, they take 2.5 years together, and that's why it has been discovered that the midwifery part, which is the most essential, is lacking out of the comprehensive. I guess that's why the Ministry of Education had to stop the course. Thank you.
Yes, Doctor.
Madam Speaker, we cannot go into the nitty-gritty of the teaching, like pediatric, public health, other departments. That's why I summarize nursing and midwifery. But just like my colleague said, they are detailed, which we cannot exhaust here, but need be, we can bring and explain into detail. But in summary, Madam Speaker, this course now is being phased off such that we continue with only nursing and midwifery separately.
And the nursing brings all the components of midwifery, everything.
Nursing is not free. You deal with the issues, specialized maternal delivery and the baby.
So what are you doing now with the people who have been trained before?
So people who have been trained, they normally go back to study to get to bridge that gap that they missed in midwifery before some of them are fully recruited into public service. Even then, the scheme of service had not captured that categories. But what we are now doing is to phase off.
Yes, Avoro.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right, Speaker, thank you very much for asking one of the questions that I wanted to get clarification from the Minister. We already have those that have been trained purportedly now. My understanding is that they are half-baked and are being deployed in various health centers, facilities in this country. And therefore putting Ugandans, especially mothers, at a very great risk. So the question is, what are you going to do with them? The Minister answered that they are going to be retrained. I would like the Minister to inform this House and the country at whose cost. And also to tell this Parliament, how many are there of such half-baked nurses in our facilities? And where are they? And as you weed them out, what happens to mothers who are now in different health facilities, laboring now, or going to labor next month, or going to, what are we doing?
Rasta.
I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. In the same vein to the Minister, some of us are even victims, rather our children. But the Madam Speaker.
No, but honorable members, there is no problem having a male midwife.
Madam Speaker, as we talk, the budget call circular has even dropped that. Are we mocking the older persons? Is it a mockery? Are we true to the older persons, Madam Speaker? I will take the information, Madam Speaker, before my prayers.
Thank you very much for giving way. Can't fail to take care of older people. The President is an older person. The Prime Ministers consist of older people and all these segments of society. So the information I want to give is that a government of older people is failing to take care of older people. Actually taking care of their own.
Thank you very much, Honorable Basalirwa, for that information. A right. And this particular government, right from their constitution, NDP, NRM manifest taking care of the welfare of not only the vulnerable persons, but the older persons. Is to task Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development the supplementary budget before the close of this financial areas, which even the budget call circular has not indicated. Madam Speaker, I would like to plead with this Honourable Parliament not to consider any more supplementary budget this financial year if it doesn't carry the 36.2 billion for SAGE. I pray, Madam Speaker.
Honourable members, much as we talk about supplementary budgets, we passed the supplementary budget 101 here. Date, most institutions have not gotten paid from that supplementary budget. So why